What follows is a vision from the AI. Prediction or fiction? You be the judge.
What if the next global threat didn't come from war or climate catastrophe, but from a microorganism we thought was forgotten? Today, artificial intelligence, AI, is analyzing hundreds of thousands of epidemiological and biological data points. And what it reveals is chilling. A long-forgotten bacterium, Helicobacter pylori, is suspected to be linked to over 15 million cases of digestive cancers in the coming decades. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Which viruses and bacteria truly threaten our collective survival? What are the overlooked pathogens that AI considers the most likely to cause a global health crisis in the years ahead? Let's find out together. The silent return of forgotten bacteria. Some bacteria have been neglected for decades. Take Helicobacter pylori, discovered in the 1980s, it colonizes the stomach of over 4 billion people. In most cases, it's asymptomatic. But it can cause gastric ulcers, chronic inflammation, and most importantly, in 1 to 3% of cases, stomach cancer. What alarms researchers today is that it is widespread, especially in low-income countries. It can be treated with a simple combined antibiotic therapy, yet very few screening campaigns exist. Selon les projections épidémiologiques, APIs par des systèmes d'intelligence artificielle, according to epidemiological projections powered by artificial intelligence, if nothing is done, it could cause 15 million cancers by 2050, while 75% could be prevented with basic preventive antibiotic treatment. But it's not alone. The invisible threat of superbugs. Another real, and often underestimated, danger is antibiotic-resistant bacteria, also known as superbugs. These mutant bacteria resist all known treatments and are spreading faster and faster, in hospitals, in industrial farming, due to heavy antibiotic use, in wastewater. The WHO already ranks them among the top 10 global health threats. By cross-referencing hospital, agricultural, and environmental data, AI estimates that by 2050, 10 million people per year could die from resistant infections if no action is taken. The catastrophe has already begun. Urinary, lung, or skin infections that used to be benign are becoming deadly. And these aren't science fiction scenarios. This is our emerging reality. Dormant viruses, an inevitable awakening. Another type of biological threat, forgotten or dormant viruses. Some pathogens are trapped in permafrost, frozen soil in the Arctic and Siberia, and as the climate warms, these ancient microorganisms, thousands of years old, could be released. In 2016, a child died and several people were infected with anthrax in Siberia after an ancient reindeer carcass thawed. That was just the beginning. Research on 30,000-year-old permafrost samples has already revived giant viruses, not yet harmful to humans. But for how long? AI is currently analyzing the genetic sequences of these ancient viruses to assess their mutation potential. And some profiles show a high risk of cross-species transmission to mammals. Zoonosis, will the next pandemic come from animals? The COVID-19 pandemic showed how zoonosis, diseases transmitted from animals to humans, can spread globally at lightning speed. But many viruses remain unknown or poorly identified within wild animal populations, bats, rodents, primates, migratory birds. By analyzing viral databases from animals, AI estimates that over 500,000 zoonotic viruses are currently circulating without yet crossing the species barrier. Among the most closely watched: Nipah virus, highly lethal, spread by bats in Asia. H5N1 and H7N9, mutant avian flus with pandemic potential. Unknown coronavirus is closely related to SARS-CoV-2. According to AI models, the probability of another COVID-like event occurring in the next 15 years is estimated at 47%. The danger of silent infections. Finally, there's a more insidious category, chronic silent infections, long asymptomatic, but with devastating long-term effects. Among them, HPV, human papillomavirus, responsible for many cancers, cervical, throat, Epstein-Barr virus, recently linked to multiple sclerosis, hepatitis B and C, often undetected for years. Once again, AI warns, 80% of severe cases related to these viruses could be prevented through systematic prevention, screening, and vaccination. Faced with such alarming numbers, one question keeps coming up: why is nothing really changing? The reasons are many: lack of political will, slow diseases don't trigger public shock, pharmaceutical interests focus more on treatment than prevention, health inequality between the global north and south, and most of all, public ignorance. Yet AI and the data exist. The forecasts are clear, but no concrete action is following. What does AI say? What's the next health crisis? According to the most recent analyses from artificial intelligence, here are the most likely scenarios for a global health crisis within the next 10 to 20 years. 1. Global explosion of antibiotic-resistant superbugs, especially in hospitals. 2. Mutation of an animal virus into humans, possibly a new bird flu or coronavirus. 3. Emergence of a disease caused by an ancient pathogen released by climate change. 4. A silent pandemic of bacteria-induced cancers linked to neglected chronic infections. And in each of these cases, solutions already exist, or are within reach. Mass vaccination, enhanced surveillance using AI, early detection, global health education. Conclusion: from AI's point of view, artificial intelligence doesn't predict the future like a crystal ball. It anticipates it based on solid data, statistical models, viral evolution, and human behavior. And what it shows today is that the next major crises may not be visible, spectacular, or sudden. They'll be gradual, biological, silent, and deadly if we continue to ignore them. A simple bacterium, an ordinary infection, an ancient virus. That could be where the next global upheaval lies. So the question isn't if a new health threat will emerge, but when. And more importantly, will we be ready to face it? What about you? Do you believe global health policies are ready? Or are we blindly heading into another avoidable catastrophe? Tell us in the comments, the debate is open. And what do you think, fiction or a vision of the future? Please like and subscribe.